start first by defining what absolute value actually is. Absolute value of an integer is the distance between a number and 0. Absolute value of an integer is the distance between a number and 0. A number and 0. The most important thing I want you to remember is that it is always positive. We should be copying these notes down. Copy, copy. My little busy copying keys, buzzing around. Okay, so it's always positive. No, honey, you can't watch the video next class because we're going to be moving on to our next lesson next class. But you can take the notes on a separate sheet of paper. All right, so absolute value of an integer is the distance between a number and 0. Remember, the most important thing here is that the number is always, always, always positive. Always positive. Okay, so let's take a look at how do I write the notation for absolute value. So the notation for absolute value is 2 lines going up and down. The number is inside, and that's what we use for absolute value. So we should be copying this down. The notation, it's 2 lines going vertically, and your number and or variable is on the inside, and that's what we use to show absolute value. Okay, so let's take a look at how to solve for absolute value. Y'all are going to love this. All right, so my first problem is the absolute value of -4. So all absolute value is, there's 2 ways I can do it. The first way is I can graph it on my number line. So I can go and I can find -4. Ooh, that's real small. I can find -4. And then all I have to do is count. How many places are there between 0 and -4? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's my answer. Or, as Aubrey just said, your absolute value is whatever is on the inside of your bracket, absolute value bracket. It's that number, just positive. Not opposite, because you could have you could find the absolute value of a positive number. Your answer is still going to be positive. The trick to absolute value is it's whatever is inside the brackets, just positive. You don't have to do the number line. I just wanted to show you on the number line. It's okay if you do the number line. You can totally do it. You don't have to do it. Let's take a look at another problem. Positive 3. All right, so for positive 3, I'm just going to show you what it would look like on the number line. Remember, you don't have to do a number line. I would graph it at 3. How many places away from 0 is it? 1, 2, 3. So what's my absolute value of positive 3? 3. That's it. What did I tell you about today's lesson? I told you it was easy. I love me some absolute value all day, every day. Levi, not negative 3, okay? So a lot of people, when they think absolute value, they want to do the opposite of it. Not the opposite, okay? It's whatever is inside the bracket, just positive. What's going on, ladies? Aubrey, what's going on? Yeah, I'm trying to teach. I'm teaching. Thank you. Don't make me separate you two. All right, let's take a look now. Let's add some decimals in it. The absolute value of negative 3.5. Who thinks they know what the absolute value of negative 3.5 is? I'm going to still do the number line. Okay, if you want to do the number line, please feel free to do the number line. You do not have to, but if you like it, do it. What is the absolute value of negative 3.5? Derek? 3.5. All right, so 3.5. Remember, it's always positive. Your answer is always positive. You know what? Let's just type it in the chat just for safe measure. Answer is always positive. If your answer is negative, you done did something wrong. So stop, rewind, and redo. All right, let's take a look. What is the absolute value of negative 9? Who thinks they know? The absolute value of negative 9. Peyton? 9. Not negative. It cannot be negative. It must be positive. There you go. All right. Okay, let's take a look. What about the absolute value of 10? The absolute value of 10, Chloe? 10. Are you ready? The next one. Oh, is the next one the hard one? There you go, guys. All right, the next one is a trick one. The next one is a trick one. And I really want to hear from, I want to hear from so many people right now. It's just not fair. I want to hear from so many people. So many people I want to hear from. I am actually going to go with Aria. Woo! Go crushed it. Negative 7. Camden, why is it negative 7? Yes, because the absolute value is only what is inside my brackets. What is the absolute value of negative 7? You can say it. 7, right? 7. But you see how you got this little negative sign hanging out in front? That guy has got to come to your answer. So your final answer, yes, the absolute value of negative 7 is 7, but since you have that negative sign hanging out in front, it's got to come to the 7 party. So negative 7, final answer. What do you think? Did everyone have their hand up? Is that what you were thinking? Good job, guys. Okay, we are not going over there yet because we're not done. Let's use this to compare. Okay, when we compare, we need to do 2 things, okay? The first thing we do whenever we compare absolute value is we need to take the absolute value, okay? So what is the absolute value of 6 3/4? What's the absolute value of 6 3/4? Emily? You got it. Come on, you can do it. What's the absolute value? 6 3/4. 6 3/4. So first step, take the absolute value of each number. Eduardo, what's the absolute value of negative 6 over 7? 6 over 7. Okay, now this is where we need to compare, we need to use last class's lesson. Can I compare two fractions with different denominators? No. So I have to change my denominators. Remember doing this? Yes? All right. What denominator do both 4 and 7 share? What denominator? Remember, if you don't know off the top of your head, multiply them together. Aubrey? No, so it's got to be multiples. So you're skip counting. So it would be like saying 4, 8, 16. Keep going. What comes after 16? 20, 24, 28. Okay, now let's do 7. 7 would be 7, 14, 21, 28. So they both share 28, okay? Or, like I said, if you don't know and you don't want to have to write those all out, just multiply your two denominators together, okay? So I'm going to move this up off to the side. So that means that I need 6 3/4 to be changed to a denominator of 28. And the same thing, I need this denominator to be 28. What times 4 gives me 28? 7. So that means I multiply it by 7. If I multiply my denominator by 7, I need to multiply my numerator by 7. What's 3 times 7? 21. Okay. What times 7 gives me 28? 4. So I need to do 6 times 4. What's 6 times 4? 24. So now I can compare. Which number's bigger? 6 and 21 over 28 or 24 over 28? 6 and 21 over 28, right? Did I really have to do all this? No, I just wanted to review it with you all. I didn't have to find common denominators because I already know that 6 is a whole number and 6 over 7 doesn't have a whole number, right? So that means that it doesn't even equal 1. But 6 over 3/4 equals 6 whole. I just wanted to review. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to review how to find common denominators. But all you're doing is just comparing your fractions. So I just made you do all that last little bit of work just as a review. You're welcome. Good job. I'm glad it was fun. All right. So let's take a look at my last one, or my last two. So I want to compare these from least to greatest. What do you think I need to do before I can compare them least to greatest? Chloe? I got to find my absolute value. Before I do anything, absolute values must be found. So, Kaden, what's my absolute value of negative 20? Tucker, what's my absolute value of 16? Good. Bella, what's my absolute value of negative 2? Good. Mark, what's my absolute value of 37? 37. Man, y'all are crushing this. All right. What is my least value means smallest, right? Small. Biggest means, or greatest means big, right? What's my smallest value, Kennedy? 2. Now, when I rewrite these, when I write my answers, I want to rewrite it as they gave it to me originally, okay? So I want to find 2, and I want to write the original format that it came in, so the absolute value of negative 2. Does that make sense? Okay, What is next? So that's over with. I don't need that anymore. What is my second biggest number, or smallest number? Second smallest. Carson. 16, which if I rewrote that would be the absolute value of 16. Done with that. What is my third smallest? My third smallest. Maddie. All I have left is 20 or 37. What's smaller? 20. So that means that it would be the absolute value of negative 20. And I'm done with that. And what's my final number, everyone? 37. 37. So my final one would be the absolute value of 37. Good. What do we think? Easy peasy? Captain Breezy? Yay, math. I love it. Oh, wait. I do have an emoji for that. Oh, I have a Bitmoji for that. Hold up. Wait a minute. I got a Bitmoji. No, I got a good one though. Just wait, it's loading. All right, so let's take a look at our next problem that I don't think you're gonna love me for. Now we're gonna do greatest to least, but fraction addition. No, not yet, but we will go to lunch after this. Okay. So look at this problem, and then we're done. After this problem, we're done with our lesson. That's it. Okay, what do I need to do first? What's my first step, Carson? Perfect. I need to find the absolute values. Who can tell me the absolute value of 1/4? Emily, your hand was up real fast. 1/4. What is my absolute value of negative 1/3, Derek? 1/3. What is my absolute value of negative 1/8, Eduardo? 1/8. And finally, what's my absolute value of 0? Chloe? 0. Okay. Now, how can I compare these fractions? Can I compare them how they are? No. What do I have to do? Aubrey? No. I got to compare them. I need to do something. What do I have to do in order to compare them? What do I have to do in order to compare them? Does someone online have the answer? Levi, your mic's on. What do you think? Levi said, nope. JK. Nope. All right. Camden, what do you think I have to do in order to compare these? You have to have the same denominator. Do these have the same denominator? No. So guess what we're doing? We're writing out the multiples in order until we find a common multiple. All right. So let's come over here and let's write out. Skip count by 4 for me. 4. 8. 8. What comes after 8? 12. What comes after 12? First, John, we got to do our things. 12. What comes after 12? 16. Now. 20. Now. 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 All right, let's leave it there. All right, now let's skip count by 3. 3, 6. And 30. Okay? Now, we need to skip count by 8. All right, we're going to stop at 32. Okay, is there a multiple that all 3 numbers have in common? Is there a multiple that all 3 numbers have in common? Just in case you might be having a hard time seeing that, let me try and move it down. I can't move it much because it's always going to be in the way. Just kidding. All right. So many people have their hands up. I think that means we found one. Kaden. 24. All of them have 24 here, 24 there, 24 over there. They all have 24. So that means that I need to change each of these denominators to equal 24. So I'm going to set my first fraction, 1/4 equal to 24. I'm going to set 1/3 equal to the something 24. And I'm going to set 1/8 equal to something 24. All right. What times 4 gives me 24? 4 times what, Aubrey? 6. So that means I multiplied 4 by 6. I also have to multiply 1 by 6. What's 1 times 6? Okay. What times 3 gives me 24? 8. Good. So that means I'm going to multiply both my numerator and denominator by 8. What's 1 times 8? 8. All right. What times 8 gives me 24? 3. What's 1 times 3? All right. Now I can compare and see what number is biggest. What number is biggest? Oh, and then don't forget, I do have a 0 down here. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. Let me move these guys up a little bit so we can write our final answers down here in pink. All right, what is my biggest number? Peyton. 1/3, good. Or the original value would be the absolute value of negative 1/3. Good job. So now that guy has gone away. Okay, what is my second largest value? Second, Carson. Good, the absolute value of 1/4. What is my next largest value, Emily? The absolute value of negative 1/8. And finally, you know what? This is just so easy. How about we all just say it together? What is my smallest number? 0. And that is my final answer. That is it. That's all I'm doing.